Hello there everyone, this is me Ethan here, and today I'll be giving you all my quick review on Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I used this custom helmet I made for my thumbnail because it was really cool and took like 2 weeks to make, so I thought I'd include it in the video. Pretty proud of it. But I'll be giving you my quick review of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I know I'm very late to this, but I'm trying to catch up with these new releases and give you all my reviews for all the new 2023 films that I watched this year that are brand new to 2023, that is. I've been traveling a lot, so I haven't been able to get around to it recently until about now. So without any further ado, let's get into the review. So first off, for the characters, starting off with Ant-Man, of course, I think Paul Rudd is just awesome in this role. I've loved him in the previous two films. He's always charming. He's always fun to watch. Although I felt he was a little out of place in this movie. He just didn't really know what he was doing. He has some cool moments, though. Next up is the Wasp, and I don't even know how she's in the title of this movie because she's barely even in it. There's one cool moment towards the middle during a sort of fight scene. It's almost like a hallucination type scene, similar to the Mysterio scene from Spider-Man Far From Home. But she has one cool moment, but other than that, she's not really that big a part of the movie, unfortunately. On to Cassie, she steps up and sort of takes the Wasp's role in this film. I personally wasn't the biggest fan of her. She has an argument with Scott Lang towards the beginning of the film and kind of lectures him on how he hasn't been helping people after he saved 50% of the population not too far back within the timeline. That was very weird to me. Didn't find her character amazing. Her dialogue is pretty bad throughout the film. I'm not going to blame the actress for it, but the dialogue and the writing in this film overall is just not great, so didn't love her here. Maybe she'll be better in the future. Janet, I thought, was one of the better characters in this film. She obviously fit in a lot better because she was in the quantum realm for a very long time, as we know from both Ant-Man and the Wasp. My only issue was that she never told anybody about Kang being in the quantum realm, and it's kind of a weird plot hole. You'd think she would have told her family all the way back in even Ant-Man and the Wasp about Kang and how he's a threat and could possibly escape. It's just a super weird plot hole now that I do not like, and I didn't like that she just refused to communicate with any of our other characters, but at least she fit in here. On to Hank Pym, kind of bummed that he didn't have that much of a role here, but he's just lost. He doesn't know what he's doing. He has a cool moment towards the end, but he's not really in the movie. Next up is MODOK, and this is kind of a hot take for me, but I liked him. I thought he was funny. I thought Corey Stoll did a good job. It made sense that he was MODOK. Obviously, the VFX are kind of iffy, but in what world would MODOK look good in live action? I liked him, but there were some tonal inconsistencies throughout the movie, thanks in part to him, so I didn't love him. And now on to the big bad himself, Kang the Conqueror, portrayed by Jonathan Majors. I thought Jonathan Majors did a fantastic job. He is the highlight of this film, the saving grace of this film. He's the reason I wanted to go see it in the first place because I knew he would be the big bad. Although I just wish that I wish Marvel would introduce characters now as a threat by showing it to us instead of telling. They did this with Gore the God Butcher and Thor Love and Thunder, and I'm not trying to make the comparison to Thor Love and Thunder here. That one's a way worse movie than Quantumania, but they just say that this guy is doing bad things, and they never show it until the end of the movie. And that's just not how you set up a villain, and I didn't like that. But overall, his performance and what he gave to the movie was phenomenal. And just as a little side note, Bill Murray was supposed to be in this movie. He's not in this movie. He's cast in this movie, but he's not in this movie. And I was super disappointed to see an actor just wasted so much. I was so excited to see Bill Murray in the MCU, and he was in the movie for maybe 10 minutes if you round up. Onto the story and entertainment value slash visuals. I'll just be going over all of this right now. The story's not really there. I like that it's simplistic. It's easy to follow. It's not too difficult of a story. It's just trying to be a fun time. But the setup is just not good. It's once again kind of similar to No Way Home, where our characters don't have any communication skills with each other. Something gets messed up, and then they get sent into another world, or other people get sent into another world, and the payoff generally works pretty well, and that's what kicks off our story, but the way it's set up just isn't done right. I personally didn't really like that. Also, the way Kang was defeated makes him a lot less threatening, at least that variant, which was unfortunate, but overall, I didn't mind the ending. I think it worked for all the characters. I'm not going to say because I want to have it be spoiler free, but I did like the way it ended. I didn't think it needed to end the way a lot of people wanted it to, and I think the way it ended worked just fine. But the overall entertainment value, I'd say, is there. It's a fun time at the movies. I wouldn't pay full price for it again, just because I know that it's not a fantastic movie, but it's perfectly all right, sort of superhero B movie. I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. And finally, what has to be mentioned is the visuals. They are awful at the beginning of this movie, but they progress throughout and slowly get better and better, in my opinion. And I like all the colors and the way it pops here. I just don't think they use the volume to their full capability, and it definitely looked better in The Mandalorian, and I think they used it better in The Mandalorian than they did in Quantumania. Visuals at the beginning, they just look awful. It doesn't feel real, it doesn't feel tangible, but then as it progresses, it looks a little more realistic, and it feels a little bit more like you're in the quantum realm. So I know this was a quick review, but I'm trying to catch up on all these 2023 movies that I'm missing. Stay tuned for my Creed 3 review. So all in all, I would rate Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania a 6 out of 10. It is a fun, watchable time, but it certainly had many misfires that I definitely did not like. A lot of the characters feel out of place or just don't feel right, and there are constant tonal inconsistencies between the two villains. I'd recommend Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania if you want to have a fun time, but don't go in expecting the next Avengers movie. So what do you think of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania? Have you seen it yet? If so, what do you think? I'd love to hear any and all opinions in the comment section below. So if you all enjoyed this review and if you all enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye and have a great day.